Welcome again to our plot tutorial, and in this one we're going to get more involved, and also we're going to talk about templates. Now before we do that, in the last one we had talked about concert, and I showed you how to move icons around and edit them and so forth. Let's say you've been messing with this and like, oh man, I want to go back to the beginning. Can we just start all over? You can. If you open up your settings window here and you have saved something, you will notice there is a reset button up here. If you click reset, it's going to give you a warning. Do you really want to do this? And you reset it, and now it's put everything back to the way that it was. So now it's reset it back to the beginning. So easy to do. Okay, let's get into templates. Now, we talked about it when you come to this for the first time. It's going to put this in this order, and to save yourself time, if you create a template, you can simply choose one of your templates and it just pops everything into place like that. Okay, let me show you how we do that. If you hover over seasons, you're going to see this plot templates right there. I'm going to select on that. Now we have just a blank canvas because I haven't selected anything. There are two templates. I'm going to open up my preferences or settings. We have what's called an ensemble template. That would be like my main orchestra, which is typically 10 first violins, 10 seconds, maybe 8 violas, 8 cellos, 4 to 5 basses, so forth and so on. And then you might have like a chamber ensemble that you use, or a pops ensemble that would have like a drum set in it and maybe a synth or speakers and that kind of thing. So this is where you would set that up. And then you have what's called a stage template. That would be something like we have our main hall, which is 50 feet wide by 70 feet deep, so forth. And then maybe we go out and play at different venues, and there's like a civic center that we play at, and that stage is much smaller, and there's some high schools that we play at. You can set those all here and then overlay your stage on top of it. In this video, we're going to concentrate just on ensemble templates. So we're going to go to ensemble. And I'm going to delete this one. And anytime you delete a template, again, it's going to tell you, are you sure you want to delete this? Be very, very mindful of this because your templates are tied to concerts. Now, if you set up a concert and you used a template to put everything in place, then you delete this template, don't worry. It saves a snapshot of that. Just because you delete this doesn't mean it's going to mess up something you've already set up. It's just going to take that selection out of that drop-down menu. That's all it's going to do. So I'm going to delete this one. And we're going to start from scratch. We're going to create a new one. Now, anytime you create a new template, this is always a kind of our general create new. You've seen this before in the platform. I'm going to select that. If I want to cancel out of it, I just click it again. It'll cancel. So I'm just going to call this my test ensemble for now. Okay, and I'm going to save. So now I've got it saved, and you can tell because I'm going to see my edit window over here. It's already put my name in it. Right now I have no icons. I haven't done anything, but we do have a template. Okay, if I go back to my list, you'll see it right there. Go back to edit mode. All right, so when you create a template, you can do it by hand, and we're just going to show you how this works. We're going to create a little bit of one, and then I'm going to show you the fast and easy way to do it. All right, so I'm going to start. I got to have a podium. All right, now whenever you click on one of these, it'll have a number and it'll have an instrument. What it's asking you is how many of these do you want and what instrument you want to assign it to. All right, so I'm going to deselect this one and I'm going to keep it to podium. Now, I only have one conductor, so I want one podium. And then I'm not really going to assign this to anybody unless you have conductor as one of your instrument lists, because this is pulling from your member types instrument is where this is coming from. I'm going to add that. All right, so there's my podium, and I'm going to drag it. Okay, so there's my podium. Now, one thing I want to bring up is this is to spec. I went to great detail to put everything precisely. So these are in inches, and these are by feet. So wherever you put this on the stage is where it would go on the actual stage. Now I'm going to add my violins. Now I want to show you kind of some tricks here. So if I go to violin and let's say I have 10 first. So you can do it this way. You can do 10 first, and then I want to definitely assign this to first violin so it knows how to flag this to which person. And I want to create music stands. Now violinists play in pairs, so I don't need 10 stands, I need 5. And I also want to tie the music stand to the instrument as well. So keep in mind that whatever that chair, think of this as a chair, that chair needs, you want to assign that instrument to that chair. Okay, so timpani is a good one when we get to timpani. Like a timpani will have 4 to 5 drums, a stool, a stand, a stick tray. You'd want to assign all of that to timpani so that when it maps it, it's going to map all those icons to that one chair. So that's how that works. All right, you can do it this way. Okay, so I've got my 5 stands, I've got my 10 violinists, and I could one at a time drag these over, then rotate them. I could do that. It's one way of doing it. I'm going to delete these. I don't want to delete my podium because I've already got them set. And I'm going to delete. It moved my podium because I didn't save it. All right, let's go ahead and save this so I don't have to go through that again. Okay, you can do it this other way, which is a better way. So this time I'm only going to select 2 violins, 1 music stand. Yeah, and then now I'm going to drag these guys down here. Got my music stand. All right, so I want to rotate these, and we're going to rotate them to 90 degrees. Now, you notice that up here, it's 88.59. This is where this little number thing comes in handy. Like, you can really pinpoint this and get it exact. I can do this. Okay, I need to get this guy 90 degrees. Okay, he's exactly 90 degrees. Line these 2 guys up. Get my music stand. All right. Now you can imagine if I had to do like 10 violins, this would be a little bit time consuming. I already got this exactly the way I want it, right? So what if I could just take and copy this, right? You can. If you put it into group mode, remember double click is group mode. Now it knows that it's in group. If you notice up here, this just changed. It went from edit icon to edit group. I can make a copy of the group. So I'm going to copy it. It's copied because it's turned into paste. And I'm going to paste this. Now I can take this and drag it. And I'm going to paste another one. I can take this and drag it. So you can create a group and copy the group and then make paste of those. So it's just a much faster way of doing it. Now, you can do this. You can create your entire orchestra, 10, 12 violins and then violas and all that. It'll be a little time consuming. You get exactly the way you want it. There's another way you can do this. Okay, so I'm going to cancel this out. And what I'm going to do is delete everybody. Now, if there are no icons on the page, you will see this button right here, Get Stock Plot. Everybody basically does the same thing. Okay? It's a little bit different, but in the ballpark. Most orchestras have 10 first, 10 seconds, I think 8 violas. So I've already constructed a basic, I call it a stock plot. If I click this, boom, it's done. Okay, now you can take this and kind of move it around. Like maybe you have your timpanist over here by the percussion section. Maybe your horns or trumpets might be over here. Trombone, whatever. You can kind of move this around, but this is just like a time saver. And when you create your ensemble plot, create the biggest version of it. Like if there's a situation where you use 12 first, add another set of violins back here. You want to create the biggest version. When you put the template into the roster, it will subtract what it doesn't need. So like I have a piano in this plot, but maybe most of the pieces I play, I don't have a piano. It won't put a piano there. It'll just remove it. So it kind of knows what to use. But, like a lot of pieces have double harps. You might want to add a double harp. So just create the biggest version of what you have. The system will know what to take in and take out. Now, if you do add something, it's very, very important that the system needs to know certain things. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say, okay, I add my 2 violins I was just talking about, right? So, this has to be flagged 2 violins. Very important. Same thing with if I add a music stand. So I'm going to add these guys. I'm not going to really place them precise at the moment, just to kind of show you. Okay, so move these. All right, so let's say I've got them. All right, so it needs to know the instrument. This piece right here is extremely important. It's got, the abbreviation has to be correct. Most of the time this is going to be right, but just double check and make sure your abbreviation, because this is what is connecting your player to this plot designer. Okay, this has to be correct. Chair also has to be correct. Very, very important. So if I've got 10 violinists, like if you notice, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So if I'm adding an extra set, there's 10, 11. No, it's 9, 10. This would be 11, and this would be 12. So if you are adding plots to icons to this, or you're creating from scratch, make sure your abbreviations are there and make sure the chair is correct. Those are very important. Also, I think I stated this before, but in addition to that, the timpani is a good example of that. Okay, so like timpani, if you notice that this music stand, chair 1, timpani. This timpani, chair 1, timpani. That timpani, chair 1, timpani. So it's all of these things that are tied to that player. Okay, so hope that makes sense. But that's kind of how you create your ensemble template. All right, so we'll go on. I'm going to save this. And if I ever want to delete it, I can select this, or I can go into my list and delete it from here. And if I'm in my list, I'm going to go back to it, just go back into edit mode, and boom, it does that. All right, on to the next video.